What's going on, fam? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome. Today's video is going to be extra juicy and all about dating. So this is going to be a two-part video. This is going to be part one of a dating Q&A, and you guys had some good freaking questions. I cannot wait to jump into this video and start answering them. So stay tuned for part two. That will be uploaded this week as well. And if you are new to my channel, welcome so much. My name is Noel Arevalo. My channel is really lifestyle based, fitness based, the whole just earth thing, a mixture of it all, okay? So don't forget, especially if you are new, make sure to hit the subscribe button and make sure to hit the thumbs up button. You guys, it helps me out so much. So without further ado, we're about to get into this extra juicy part one of dating Q&A. About to get real. You guys may hate me or love me after this video. I do not know. All right, you guys, are we ready for part one, dating Q&A? I don't even know if I'm ready, but we are gonna go ahead and dive right in. This is only part one. It's gonna get real, it's gonna get raw. Let's do it. So jumping into the first question, this is actually a pretty good question. So what do I personally look for in a guy? This might sound weird, but like one of the main things that like I look for, like the first thing is how they treat other people. How someone treats other people says so much about a person, their character, everything. So I know that sounds weird, but like how they treat people that mean absolutely maybe nothing to them, like a waitress or just like a hostess, whatever it may be. That's definitely something that I look at. But like, God, there's so many things. Like if I could curate my perfect man, like the biggest thing is like, obviously I definitely want to date somebody who is ambitious. That has to be there. Ambitious, good humor, that's like crucial. If you have good humor, I'll marry you, literally. Good humor, really affectionate and loving. Like I love that. Someone who likes to travel, who's spontaneous, someone who is family oriented, someone who like can be social. I don't know if I could really date someone who's super introverted just because I'm so social. Someone who is, ideally it would be awesome to date like another entrepreneur, someone who's established, that like we could build off of each other and we could like help each other grow, and I can learn from them, they can learn from me, type of a thing. And obviously somebody who is faithful, who is loyal. I just feel like that's so hard to come by nowadays, unfortunately. And I'm trying to think of anything else. There's just so many things, but those would definitely be like the top things that I look for in a person. Obviously someone who is healthy, fit, takes care of themselves. Obviously that they don't have to be the buffest guy ever, but they definitely have to care about their health, care about their like physical appearance, stuff like that. So, and I have to be attracted to them, obviously. But that is definitely like the main things that I could think of off the top of my head. I know it's asking a lot, you know what I'm saying? But he out there somewhere. I know he is waiting on me. How important is a guy's salary? So this is a great question. It's such a controversial question, I feel like. So a guy's salary, for me, I've always been an independent woman. I've always taken care of myself. I know that I could take care of myself. And one of the biggest things that drives me is making sure that I do make enough money in order to like support my whole family, if that ever were to be a thing. Like say my husband lost his job or something. That's something that like motivates me and drives me. But regardless, how important a guy's salary is, for me, to be honest, like I would like to date someone who is on my same level as far as the amount of money that I make. I don't talk about the amount of money that I make, but like they definitely have to be either on my level, or it would be nice to date somebody that makes even more money than me. Definitely has to be on my level. I personally, like, I don't want this to sound like vain or anything like that, but I definitely would like to date somebody who either makes as much as me or more than me, honestly, personally. Because I mean, in order for you to be able to like build stuff together, like whether that's buying a house or whatever it may be, like you want that person to be leveled up with you. You don't want to be like, I'm not trying to be someone's sugar mama. I'm not trying to be none of that. You know what I mean? Like if anything, can I get a sugar daddy out here? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, definitely, like, I don't think that I personally could date somebody who isn't established financially. That's just a standard for me. So it's pretty important, to be honest. They don't have to be a millionaire, but they definitely have to be either on my level or more established, is what I'd personally prefer. In an area of social media, this is a good one. In an area of social media, how do you keep a woman's attention and things fun? This could go both ways for guys and for girls. Honestly, social media has I personally feel really effed up our dating culture nowadays. Personally, that's how I feel. But at the end of the day, you guys, like, as long as you are a good person, you are making sure that you're meeting those person's needs, their love needs, you're being a, you know, you're being an equal partner, you're making sure that, like, they're satisfied, and it should be 50-50 in that sense, 100%. There's nothing else that you need to really do to prove yourself just because social media kind of like promotes like the next best thing. I've learned in my dating life, trust me, brother, sister, the grass is not greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it, period. So you shouldn't feel like you have to be going above and beyond and not being who you truly are in the relationship in order to like keep them stimulated and keep them around in the relationship. Obviously be a good part, like do things on your end to be a good partner, but then at the same time, like a person should love you and want to be with you because you're you. So that's how I feel about it, and that's it. You shouldn't be having to freaking do cartwheels and backflips in order to keep somebody around. If they like you and they're for you, like they're going to be with you, and if not, peace. Thank you. Next. Okay, next question. Do you use dating apps? Ooh, did a good one. Do you use dating apps or meet people organically? So for me, I am the type of person to where I am extremely picky. It's like kind of downfall. I'm just so picky. I mean, it's not a downfall, but that's probably why I'm still single. But so for me, I love organically meeting people. I am not afraid to shoot my shot. Most people are afraid of rejection. That's why they won't go up to someone and approach them. But for me, I'm not afraid of rejection because I'm confident in who I am, and maybe I'm just not someone's cup of tea. Like I have literally gone up to people in bars and approached them and been like, hey, like, what's good? Can I have your number? You're a good looking guy, blah, blah, blah. Like literally I've done that. And I have been rejected sometimes, but for me, I love meeting people organically. Every single time I've seriously dated somebody, it's always been somebody who I have met organically, like seriously dated someone. I do the dating apps, I've done the dating apps, and to be honest, like I have friends that have met like the loves of their lives on dating apps, which I'm super happy for like those percentage of people. But for me, dating apps are just not like, I personally am not a fan. I have gone on dates, I have dated people from dating apps, but I would rather personally meet someone organically in person, for sure. Like I am an organic person, meter. Yeah, okay. Next question. These are good questions, you guys. I told you they're gonna be juicy. Does it matter if they like to give anal or oral? It 100%, in my opinion, matters if they like to give oral. Anal, I could do without for the rest of my life, okay? That's an exit hole only for me, but oral, I feel is like, or just any kind of foreplay, you know what I mean? It kind of shows like if they're like a giver. Like I feel if someone's down to do oral, it shows that they care, they want to take care of you in that sense before heading into like, you know, hitting a home run type of a thing. But it does matter for me, the whole oral thing, because I feel like that just kind of shows that you're like a giver and you're not just like a taker, like just trying to have sex and be like done with it. So for me, the oral thing, yes, it does matter. And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way, but as far as anal goes, I could do without that for the rest of my life, okay? Exit hole only. You know me. On to the next. Would you date someone if their family didn't like you? This is a really freaking good question. Okay, so would I date someone if their family didn't like me? That is hard to answer because it's not black and white. It's a very gray. I've actually had a friend who dated someone who their family didn't like them and they ended up ending, right? Because the person cared so much about what their family thought and cared about, obviously. So it really depends, like, it really depends because you know that down the road, that's always gonna be an issue. It's always gonna be something that you run into, like family gatherings, holidays, like that's gonna suck to know. And it's not a good feeling, obviously, to be around people that you know don't like you, you know? So for me, I can't say yes or no to that, but I honestly feel like eventually the relationship would probably end because that would be such a burden on the other person. It would be a burden on both people because they care and love their family and what they think about you, and then you don't want to feel like crap about knowing that your significant other's family doesn't like you. So it's like, I mean, that's a toss-up, but I feel like eventually relationships like that would probably end because it would just be too much, you know? So yes and no, I don't know. You would have to test the waters and you would have to let time tell, I guess, but that's just not a fun situation for either partner, I feel like, to be in. Ooh, these are good. Ooh, these are good. Okay, so do you believe a guy you date should pay for everything or should it be 50-50? Okay, so like I've said, I'm an independent woman. I always have been, but I am all about the chivalry, okay? So I'm all about it. I could pay for myself, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, to an extent, I feel, and I don't ever expect a guy to pay for things. I've never been that way. I always, even on dates, I pull out my card, like I don't expect. But if you're seriously, if like I'm married to somebody, there are a lot of things obviously that I do believe that you should go 50-50 on. But I really do have like an old school mindset to when it comes to like the guy, regardless of if I made more than him or we made the same amount, the guy should pay for majority things in my opinion. That's just my opinion. You guys might hate me or love me for it. I have an old school mentality like when it comes to that because like I like to be, I know and I always have been able to take care of myself, but I like to be taken care of. So I'm down to go 50-50 on things. I'm down to get the Starbucks. I'm down to, you know, get the breakfast, get the this, get the that, but like the bigger things like dinner or like, you know, like trips and stuff like that, I personally feel that the guy should pay more. So I don't know exactly if that answered that question or not, but I'm super old school when it comes to that. So probably being like, it leans more towards him paying for most things. That's just my opinion on it. That's just my opinion on it. You guys might hate me, but whatever. In relationships, eventually, most things are 50-50, if that makes sense. But I like being taken care of. I do. I appreciate that. So, something you pay attention to in a guy when first dating. So, something I pay attention to with a guy when first dating, I feel like I've kind of already like talked about this, is how they treat other people. How they treat other people is a big one. It's a big tell all of their character. It really, really is. I know it sounds so like simplistic, but like how they treat people that mean nothing to them says a lot. How they treat their family, how they treat their friends, like that just, I don't know. I know that sounds weird, but that's literally what, like, one of the main things that I pay attention to is how they treat other people, because it just says so much. Like, it definitely is gonna impact how they treat you, like in the beginning or going deeper into the relationship for sure. Thoughts on morning, oh, I love this. I loved this question. Thoughts on morning texts in early stages of talking. First of all, listen, Linda, I'm like the least neediest person when it comes to dating, when it comes to relationships, but I do appreciate if a guy texts me like all throughout the day. I appreciate that. Even if I can't get to their text like constantly, like that shows me that they're thinking about me. It shows me that they're very interested. It shows me that they're trying to pursue me. And I love good morning texts and good night texts. I don't think that, like, maybe wait like a week to like a week and a half until you start doing it, just so you're not like over aggressive. But I'm telling you, most women appreciate good morning texts and good night texts. That does not go that goes highly noticed to me. I love that. I love waking up to good morning. I love like good night. Like, it's just, I don't know, for me, like week to week and a half, give it like a week to week and a half, so it's not too like aggressive. But trust me, that is like, girls are impressed. Girls are impressed by that. Women, because women are impressed by that. Girls are impressed by that. So I'm all about the good morning and good night texts early on. Would you let a guy suck your toes that has a foot fetish? You guys, if I told you how many times I've gotten those are the only DMs I get. my DMs don't even be lit, but those are the DMs that I get, is like pictures of your feet. I do have some cute toes though. I will say, I appreciate my toes. I can say I have nice feet, but regardless, would I let a guy suck my toes? To be honest, if I think about it, like, I honestly think that okay, so I definitely would be open to it. I would probably let a guy suck my toes, yes, absolutely. And I honestly think that I would probably be into it. Oddly enough, like, I'm just kind of picturing somebody sucking my toes, and I think that honestly, I would be into it. Like, so yeah, absolutely. I would totally let a guy suck my toes, 100%. Put in your applications for my feet. Have I ever dated older men? So this is a great question. Yes, I have. I actually have always tended to date older. Last guy I talked to for a handful of years was like 10 and a half years older than me. And I like older. Like, there's definitely a cap. Like, I'm not trying to date a 70-year-old man or an 80-year-old man. Ain't no sugar baby over here, but I feel like a 10-year to like a 12-year difference, like, I'm open to that. I've always dated older, and the reason why I have dated older is because with my experience, and this is not all the time, right? You can't like stereotype like everybody, but with my experience, the older people that I have dated are usually more established in who they are, like confidence wise. They're more men. You're not dating a boy. When I've dated younger, even just around my age, like I'm 29, I've dated like, you know, 30-year-olds and whatever, like within their 30s, they have tendencies of little boys. And so for me, I've always dated older. That's just my preference because they are more established in who they are, and usually they're more established in their career, which that's the kind of person that I want to date, as far as like just us being on the same level. So dating older all day, don't play. Holla at your girl. You 60, 70 years old, holla at me. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yes, I like dating older. Okay, so the hardest thing about dating, there's a lot of things that are hard about dating. Dating is not easy. It's worth it when it's with the right person, but it's not easy. The first thing that comes to mind for me, and I'm just gonna keep it here because this is going to be the last question, unfortunately, of this dating Q&A. So with it I would say the compromise part. So obviously there's things that you like to do, there's things that your partner likes to do, and then there's things that you guys don't like about what each other likes to do. So compromising, but this is just like across the board, right? Like compromising, maybe it's literally how you guys decorate your house. Maybe you don't like it, but she does. Compromising on just like agreeing to disagree. And this could be like whatever, like watching football with, you know, your boyfriend if you don't like sports, or going and getting like a pedicure with your girlfriend, because most women do and most guys don't. But the whole thing about it, compromising, is like, what it does is obviously allows you to, and it could be a bunch of different things, but like the biggest thing is obviously like spending quality time together, right? So, so yeah, I would just say compromising, because obviously you guys are completely two different individuals, so that the relationship is able to thrive, because relationships literally are all compromise, like legit. All right guys, and that is gonna conclude that part 1 dating Q&A with your girl. Make sure again to stay tuned, because part 2 of this dating Q&A, and honestly, the questions just keep getting juicier, you guys, is going to be uploaded this week as well. So before you get out of here, make sure you guys see me in the next video, to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that thumbs up, because it helps me out so much. And in general, with nowadays dating culture, you guys, like, I just want to say one thing. If you take away anything from this video, is to never ever settle, okay? I'd rather be alone all day than to be settled and miserable in a relationship. Been there, done that, and your girl ain't going back. That's why I'm still single, okay? But anyways, I love you guys so much. Hit that subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.